Are women really special? Boy, what a concept, right? And I'm not sure why I haven't talked about this much. I probably have, but it's been a while. This is an interesting concept because this has to do with gynocentrism, right? I was walking by this apartment where I know these young girls live because they always say hi to me because they're like Mormon or like Presbyterian, something like that. It has to do with their religion, so they have to be super nice in case, I'll be interested in God or whatever, right? So they're always super nice. It's part of their like religion to be very neighborly. So every time I go outside and they're outside, they're always like, "Hi, how you doing?" Blah blah blah. Trying to be all fake nice to me. But so I know where they live because of that. And as I'm walking by, I look over, just glance at their door, and I notice there's all these stickers on their door. And I've noticed this before, and I'm like, why is there all these stickers on the door? And I realize it's flair. That's like a 90s word. I'm not sure if anybody even uses that word anymore, but flair is like bedazzling things. And this is what girls do. They like to bedazzle shit. So they put stickers on each other's doors or on their doors and to sort of pep themselves up and like, yay, we're worth it. We're females and we're happy and special. And that in and of itself has nothing to do with their religion. It's just, that's how girls are, man. I remember having girlfriends in the past where their friends would come over and like write nice things on their wall and put all this bedazzlement on their doors and stuff to encourage them and all this stuff. It's just weird, man. It's like, I would never want to raise my daughter like that. Like, be a grown up, Like, you're 25, 30 years old and you're bedazzling shit still. Like, okay, on the one hand, like maybe that's nitpicking, maybe that's a little too much, but the point that I'm getting at here is underneath that is like this, yay, women, right? Like, yay, kind of women are special attitude. That's what it really is. And I remember girls in middle school like that and high school like that. And it's what they do. It's gynocentrism. It's like, we're special. We're women, right? Which is seriously nonsense when you think about equality and when you think about feminism. Like, oh, are you special or are you equal to men? Like, pick one. And that's what it's always been. It's always been like that. We're special, unique, and we're equal. Like, okay, so you just want your cake and you want to eat it too, and you want all the perks and you want none of the drawbacks. You want all the power that a man has, but none of the responsibility. You want all the perks of being, a female, but you also don't want any of the downsides. I get it, man. You want your cake and you want to eat it too. In general, with everything in life, that's what you want. And yes, I surmised that just by looking at a door. Okay? Because that's really what it is. When you really look at your history and you look at how women have acted your whole life, that's the truth. That's what it comes down to, right? It's not all women, not every woman. That's true. But this is the general attitude that women have. This is the general attitude that women have towards each other, towards society. We're special, right? And they hype themselves up and they pump it to each other. They pump each other up, right? And this is why her friends are going to be her friends and her family are going to be your hardest critics. And as a man, you should learn that if you want to impress a girl, you got to be good with her friends and you got to be good with her family, right? Because they're social. Women are social creatures. But what I want to talk about specifically is the overemphasization of this. The fact that they can't grow up, and some of them never grow up. They never get mature. They never take responsibility. They never have agency. They're always blaming. And this is why. So that's the positive side, right? It's all positive. Yeah, I'm going to put flair on my door. Positive, positive, positive. But what that does is it removes accountability. It's like, yeah, you're so special. You're so amazing. But no one's like, hey, you got responsibility, you got to be honest, you got to have a good character. Like, no one's saying that, but everyone's saying you're special. But there's no foundation to all that hype. There's no foundation to all that flair and all that, pumping their head up. There's no foundation. It's not founded in anything. It's like, you're just special just because you are, and that's nice. That's a nice thought. On the one hand, like, yeah, it'd be good to just be appreciated for who you are. But when you really get to the core of it, it's not just who you are, it's because you're a female. That's what it really is. Like, they don't do that to their brothers. They don't do that to the men in their life. They don't go put flair on their door. They don't say, hey, you're amazing. It's like, on the one hand, it's almost like they're assuming they're weak. Like, oh, well, she's weak, so we gotta... Like women are just interesting creatures, man. They're just real interesting creatures, for lack of a better word, for lack of a less derogatory word. Imagine assuming that somebody is weak. Imagine girls will do that. They'll like just designate and delineate these weird attributes onto their friends. Like, oh, Jessica's weak. We got to treat her like she's weak. Like, she's not weak. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, this is just women. This is how women roll. They're just weird. They're just stupid. Like, they will create conflict because they're just bored, because they got nothing else to do, because they have no agency, because they have no responsibility. Like, if you're bored, something is seriously wrong with your life. Like, there's so much to do. Millions of things to do. Paint something. Go for a walk in nature. Exercise. Clean. Tell someone you love them. Text somebody that you don't talk to that much. Be kind to somebody. Go out and help somebody. Like, there's a gazillion things to do, but you're bored, so you're going to designate something for your friend. You're gonna try to create a backstory about your poor friend, and then, like, just weird shit that girls do, man. And it's because they don't have any responsibility, because there's not much expected of them. And yet they claim they're superior, they claim they're the same as men and all this crap. Like, no, you're not. You're not. But this is what I'm talking about, is that, this pumps them up. You're special just because you're a woman, right? This is what they do. You're special just because you're a woman. Oh, you're so special. Why? What did you do? What did you really accomplish? Like, this is the difference between men and women. Men have to actually bring something to the table. All women have to do is show up. This is the difference. And this is the way it's been, unfortunately, for a very long time. And for some reason, they've gotten away with it, right? And I think it's because of lack of accountability, lack of parenting, lack of social accountability, social responsibility. Now, you could argue that in and of itself is sexist. Like, maybe socially it's sexist that we don't put the same pressure or the same responsibility on our daughters that we do on our sons, because men have to put up or shut up. Men have to bring something to the table, or else we have no value, or else our character is seriously judged, like, for real, not a joke. Okay. Women, on the other hand, they're special just for being a female, and that is sexist. It's sexist. It's sexist that a woman is special just for being a female. Like, well, did she earn it? Oh, she has some ovaries and some mammary glands, so she's she's special, right? It's just weird shit, man. And I would hope women would get away from that. And maybe it's not all women. Maybe not all women are flaring up each other's doors. I'm sure it's not. But, as far as gynocentrism is concerned, in a greater arcing sense, that's what it is. And you'll see these girls throughout life, and they can't handle life. They really can't. They freak out, because they can't break out of this "I'm special" mindset. And basically it ruins their life. You can spoil someone, just like, parents are always talking about, oh, he's spoiled, like it's a joke. My son or my daughter or whatever is spoiled, or my pet is spoiled, like it's a joke. Like, no, you really can spoil something. You really can spoil someone if they don't have proper character, if they don't have checks and balances, if they don't have discipline. You can actually spoil somebody. That's very real. That happens. Sorry. There's many spoiled people out there who don't realize how insufferable they are, who don't realize how, you know, inhuman they are because they don't have accountability, or they don't have personal agency, or they think the world revolves around them, or they're narcissistic and they're toxic and they don't even know that they are. They think the world's out to get them, and they're selfish and solipsistic, and they're all about themselves, and they don't understand that the reason why they're like that, well, first of all, they don't even know they're wrong, you know, let alone understand that the reason why they're like that is because people told them their shit didn't stink throughout their life. Their parents coddled them, their friends told them they were special. I mean, I would never want to date a woman like that. I would never ever want to have a baby with a woman like that, who's just selfish, who's can't see past her own nose, right? Why would you want to date somebody like that? Like, oh, and she's constantly in her emotions. She has no rationale. She's not intelligent because she can't think abstractly. She can't look at her situation outside of herself. She never self-crits. She never self-criticizes, right? On and on, man. This is the result of gynocentrism, and it ruins women. Are women today special? No. You should not be special. Do they think they're special? Yes. Do they treat each other like they're special? Yes. And that's a problem. That's a big problem. That's a big problem. Are you special? No, you're not. If you're the same as men, if you're equal to men, then no, you're not special, because men aren't special. Men aren't told that they're special 24/7. Men aren't hyped up by their friends. You're awesome. You're great. No. No one cares about men. Men need to put up or shut up. Bring something to the table, or else you're nothing. You're a joke. Bring money to the table. Bring resources to the table, or else you're nothing. This is men. Oh, you want to be that, women? Okay. You want to be equal to men? Okay. You're not special. If feminism exists, you are not special, because feminism is supposed to be about equality, right? It's supposed to be doing the same things that men can do, treated the same way men are treated. Okay. You want that? You sure? Okay. Then you're not special. Pick one. You can't have both. You can't be equal to men and be special. Doesn't work like that, ladies. Sorry. That's sexism. That is selfishness. That's gynocentrism. You want the power. You want all the power and none of the drawbacks. And life just doesn't work like that. So this is what we got today, man. And it's like, well, this is a major problem. This is a major freaking problem in society. This is a major freaking problem with the world today. Okay, if our women are special, then who's backing us up? Because they're 50% of the population. If all our women are queens and can't do no wrong and deserve the best at all times just because, for no reason, even if they didn't earn it, especially if they didn't earn it, because the way they behave today is horrible, then what kind of society are we going to have in the next 3 or 4 generations? What kind of children are these women going to be raising? You know? And I would say a lot of them just have to fool their children. Really, is kind of what I see a lot today. You know, the kids don't know. I mean, I didn't know. It took me a whole bunch of experience with women. My parents didn't teach me this. I didn't see this from my mom. You know, she probably was messed up like that when she was younger. You know, maybe they come out of it. I don't know, but I wouldn't want to put a baby in a woman like that. Maybe, I mean, women. I believe this. Women have an innate ability to be a parent. It comes very natural to them, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to raise their kids right per se. And if they had a fucked up, if their moms had a fucked up, you know, youth, then I don't know, man. I mean, that shit's eventually going to come out one way or the other. It came out with my mom. I saw it eventually, but that's not what red pilled me. What red pilled me was just being around young women, being around the solipsistic women, being around the selfish, narcissistic, toxic women. That's what red pilled me. I'm like, I don't want to put a baby in these bitches. And what calms them down, what really makes them step in line, is a guy with money. And I don't want to be that. I'm not just a utility. I'm not just a means to an end. You know? But anyway, this is a problem, man. Like on the one hand, like I think we should treat women special if you love a woman. Like, okay, I love you, I want to treat you special, but not everybody should treat. I don't expect the whole world to treat my wife special. I'm the one who's supposed to treat my wife special because that's my wife, and I want to treat her special. But I don't expect her to go out and I mean, I wouldn't want a woman who expects the world to treat her special just because she's a female. Like that's a character flaw. There's something wrong with that. You know. But anyway, that's all I got to say for that. I mean, this is a big topic. Like, if you really think about it, it ruins a lot of young women, man. It really does. It ruins a lot of young women thinking that their shit doesn't stink, thinking they're so special, blah blah blah. Right? It ruins them because they're never able to take accountability. They're never able to, be real. Maybe at some point when they hit 30, 40, and they've been through so many real experiences and people are like, hey, you got to work or you got to do this or you got to do that. Like maybe at some point they figure it out